Hello friends. So our today's topic is the VLSI versus embedded system. The reason behind choosing this topic because these are the two very emerging technologies the students or the people are in working in this domain. So we need to understand what is the VLSI and what is the embedded system. So everyone knows the embedded system. In our engineering curriculum also we have studied various embedded subjects starting from the microcontroller 8051 to the Cortex processor or Cortex family controller, ARM controller. So various controllers we have studied in our engineering studies. So what is the embedded system? So keyword embedded itself is says it is combination of various components. Rather I will say it is a combination of your microprocessor, it is a combination of your memory elements, it is a combination of some power management circuits, some control circuits. All these together becomes a embedded system. The embedded systems are designed to do a very specific applications or it does very specific functions predefined in its logical sections. So we'll take an example of very basic embedded system microcontroller 8051. So we all studied this 8051 in our engineering studies. The microcontroller architecture says that the internal architecture of controller is having some registers, having some memory element, it has an internal RAM, it has internal ROM, it has internal ALU. So these all building blocks are used for some specific applications. The embedded system is either based on the microprocessor or the microcontroller. And this microcontroller has predefined logic or we can say it has a predefined functional blocks. So that's what embedded system is also called as a application specific system. So we'll take further explanation by taking one of the example. So we'll take an automobile industry. So everyone knows the vehicle, the car, or we can say any automobile industry has a lot of embedded applications. So if you see, there are various embedded technology used in the automobile industry. So for example, there are some rain sensors, then power window sensors, LED brake light, backup sensing, ignition, engine ignition, information navigation, GPS, headlight control. So all these are very application specific tasks and it is executed by using embedded system. So to control all these activities or to control all these features at the back end, a microprocessor or a microcontroller is there. So simply we can say an embedded system is a system who does a very specific applications or a very specific task. Now how we can compare the embedded system with the VLSI system. So before comparing it, let us try to understand the VLSI system. So VLSI system is something like real-time signal processing. It is a user-defined logic. The VLSI technology is much faster than the embedded system. It is adaptive architecture. Why it is adaptive architecture? because at any point of time we can modify the logic, we can modify our functionalities by keeping the same hardware. So for example, if you take an example of microcontroller 8051, it has some limitations. We cannot go beyond its limitation. So for further enhancement or for further future applications, we have to move with his upgraded microcontroller version like PIC controller, ARM controller, or AVR. So these are the various categories defined for various applications. But this is not the case of vlsi. In vlsi, let us say we have one FPGA and we are designing various applications. So in a same single FPGA, we can design a controller 8051 functionality. Even you can modify same functionality to modify it to PIC control functionality. Even though we can modify it for the ARM controller. So this is the major difference between VLSI and the embedded system. So embedded, as we said, it is a application specific. It is dedicated to particular applications. But VLSI is adaptive. It can be modified as per the user. Now in today's technology, the artificial intelligence plays a very important role where the artificial intelligence algorithms running at the back end, they are capturing the real time data, analyze it and make the decision. So to run this artificial intelligence, we need a VLSI technology that runs on a real-time platform, and that is keep changing in every day, or we can say in every second. VLSI is very important as a R&D perspective because the future 3 years, 4 years, 5 years technology designing we are doing today by using the VLSI techniques. So how we are designing these future products using VLSI? Let us take an example of robotics. To simulate the robotics, to simulate the robotic functionality, to simulate the artificial intelligence algorithms, that all the simulations are done using this VLSI technology before launching any product. So this VLSI technology very plays a very important role in the product design cycle. To design any product, we need to first validate, analyze, and freeze the design. So during that phase, the VLSI technology is used to validate our design. Once the design is validated in the initial stages, then it will go for the fabrication. So simply we can conclude like this: VLSI is something like the core of our electronics field, and embedded is the application on top of the VLSI technology. So VLSI is always a core of all the electronics fields. So we'll give one of the example. So VLSI is like something like our mathematics in our engineering studies. So we studied mathematics, mathematics 1, mathematics 2, mathematics 3, and depends on the its implementation. As well as we studied Fourier series, Laplace transform, Z transform, various mathematical calculations we are doing. But in real life scenario, we never seen this actual its visibility in front of our applications. But at the back end, it is running, it is executing, and it is using. In the same way, the embedded we are seeing in real time in front of our day-to-day life. But at the back end of embedded system, VLSI technology is there. So let us take an example of our mobile phone. The mobile phone is built of a microprocessor. Let us take an example of Qualcomm Snapdragon. So this processor is designed, developed, and fabricated in a VLSI technology. And then further it is given or it is applied in the embedded system to do a various specific tasks and to become a complete mobile handset. So we can say vlsi technology is always at the back end of our embedded system. Embedded system is the application level system. So this is all about the difference between embedded system and vlsi system. I hope you people have understood the basic difference between vlsi and embedded system.